Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jordi 500 qualifying in its 12th edition. This one is going to be the biggest one yet. 30 card field will be divided into two groups. The fastest three of each group will make it to fast 6. Meanwhile, places 10th and 11th will make it to last chance qualifying, another chance to make it to the show, and places 12 to 15 will be eliminated. These are the lineups, starting with Group 1. We have Niarul, who has been eliminated 2 times in the past, all of them with Pertamina Alpine, the French-Indonesian outfit. Niarul, a JordiCar veteran, and now he's gonna start his run. Alpine has always had it difficult here at the Jordi 500, and I think this year won't be any exception, although Niarul is 5th in the championship, so it would be a tragedy if he doesn't make it to the show. That's a 12:60 for a reference time. He has to put a better one. I'm sure the track will get better over the course of the day. As Niarul hits the barrier a couple of times there, he puts a 12:68. Not enough to beat his best lap. Each driver has 4 laps to set their best time. Only the fastest time of those 4 laps will count towards the final result. As Niarul begins his final lap, that was at 12:75. Looks like he's gonna be staying with the 12:50. You can see the minimap in the top left corner. The red button, the red circle is the current time, and the white circle is the previous. And as you can see, Niarul was not able to beat the time. Next up on the line is Checo Paul, the Mexican Jordi NXT champion last season. He graduated to JordiCar with Ganassi, but he has had a difficult season so far. Not a single top 10 result in the last 3 races. Meanwhile, his NXT rivals, Bruce Williams in Andretti, got a podium, and Owen Quatlando a race win in the Prema. So a difficult time for the Mexican driver, Mexican rookie. He puts a 12:72 as his first reference time, very far away from Niarul. He makes it 12:42, a decent lap time for the Ganassi driver, and he hits the wall again. He doesn't seem to be bettering it. A cut through turn 4, that's a 12:44 again, 12:42 again for the Ganassi driver. He puts the exact same time as his previous lap time, but now he's losing a bit of time and he puts a 12:50. He's gonna stay with the 12:42 in this super competitive session. Nice run by the Mexican driver, who has as teammate Momento Moai, who is in his 3rd season. He was in the podium, but well, this is now the turn of his teammate, unpaid intern, in the 3rd Ganassi car for this weekend. Unpaid intern, of course, our commentator throughout the JordiCar series. Oh, he touches the grass there in his first turn, but he has participated 2 times before in the Jordi 500 with a best result of P5 in season 10. His first lap is at 12:48. He would like to have a better one. Nice entry into turn 3, a little cut into turn 4. Nice lap, that's a 12:12, and so far the fastest of the weekend. Absolutely impressive from the Jamaican driver and commentator, but he won't. Oh, he puts a 12:12 again. Talk about consistency from the Ganassi drivers. Unpaid intern is flying. Oh, he touches the grass there in turn number 3, but it doesn't matter. He already put his 12:12. And he is in serious contention to make his way into the fight for pole. Unpaid intern. He also drove, oh, he has to reverse there to enter the pit lane. He also drove in Daytona last season, but he finished last with Darrell McLaren. He returns to Ganassi as a driver. Kevin Bruce Williams, we're talking about him. He got a podium in Puebla, but since then he has been slow and steady in his road to adaptation to the JordiCar series, and now he will fight to get into the Jordi 500, the greatest spectacle in Twitter sims. The rookie, the American rookie, puts a 12:48 as his first lap. Oh, he goes wide. in the exit of turn number 2. Entry to turn number 3 and turn number 4. He's not gonna put a better lap. That's a 12.70. Still 2 laps to go to put a better lap time. At the moment, he is already ahead of Niarel, but he needs to finish the run, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Bruce Williams, lap number 5. That's a 12.55 for the American rookie. Still won't put him ahead of Checo Pole. He goes wide again. He's not gonna build a better lap, and that's a 12.48 as his best lap. Currently in P3, the Andretti driver, replacing Nicky Tofu in that number 27 Andretti. But so far, so good. Still considerably ahead of Niarel. Connor Silich then, the American driver, NASCAR Xfinity race winner, confirmed to drive on the Cup Series next year. But right now, he is in the Jordi 500 attempting to qualify. Quite a roller coaster year for Connor Silich in his career at NASCAR, and that's a 12.28. That's a quick lap, a quick beginning lap. He puts himself already in second behind on paid intern. Big cut in turn 4, and that's a 12.03. Connor Silich put himself on the top and presumably on the fight for pole. The Trackhouse Racing rookie for the first time in JordiCar, and then he goes on to put a 12.17. Still a single lap to go for Connor Silich. What a run, and he's not lifting yet. A quick cut in turn 4, and that's a 12.05 in his final lap. Connor Silich, unbelievable run from the Trackhouse Racing driver. Puts himself certainly in the fight for pole. And now his teammate, Real KDY20. He has been eliminated in the past. He is now in Trackhouse. He has been in different teams. And he won in Season 5, remember. The Jordi 500. One of the most forgotten Jordi 500 drivers. A very scrappy lap from Connor Silich's teammate. He goes wide in turn 4. Oh, that was an awful lap. 12.80. That's his first lap for the Belgian veteran. He is having a very scrappy lap. He tries to put a better lap. That's a 12.55. Still 2 laps to go for the Belgian driver, the Belgian veteran, winner in Season 5. Looks like a good lap. Oh, he goes wide. And that's a 12.72. 1 lap to go to put himself in the big show. It's gonna be difficult to make it with a time like that one. He opens wide, and that's a 12.68 in his final run. He puts himself behind Niarel in an unbelievable, horrible lap from the Belgian driver. And now it's time for 66 Blomqvist. He was the runner-up driver in the Jordi 100 last Thursday. A driver that wants to put himself in the big show. This is his first time on a JordiCar. I think he didn't make it to the rookie test. Let me check that. He's now driving in the 3rd Ferrari entry. Yeah, this is his first time driving a JordiCar. His first run, 12.68. Now it's a 12.72 behind Niarel and KDY20. Lap number 2 for the American driver. Yeah, this is his first participation. His first drive on a JordiCar. He puts a 12.60. He's bettering his lap. But one final run, he is improving his lap. It's gonna be a 12.57 for the American rookie, ahead of Niarel and Real KDY20. Will this be enough to get himself into the show? We don't know yet. As he dives into the pits again. And that's Miguel Marquez, the Mexican veteran. He is the 2nd driver with the most JordiCar races, with more than 160. He's just behind Just a Bro Moment, and this season he he put himself ahead of Nikitofu in that stat, as he puts a first lap of 12:53. The Mexican driver has been in every race of the JordiCar series but two, so he would very much like to put himself in the Jordi 500. That's a 12:72, and he's doing a fantastic lap. For his standards, Mercedes, a midfield team, Sean Franchitti, remember he made it Mercedes after leaving Ganassi. He goes wide Miguel Marquez, that's at 12:45. That's his best lap time. Final lap, what is it going to be? 12:58. Enough for fourth place behind his countryman Checo Pole. Not a bad lap from Miguel Marquez. He put himself in a relatively safe zone. And look who is this guy, Jack Carroll. A best result of P8. He has achieved P8 3 times in the past here at Indianapolis. Right now he's the championship leader. He is the reigning season 11 champion, but he still wants to put himself in, contention for the championship. But he has never won the Jordi 500 before. He wants to change that this year. He was in in the danger zone in season 7. He was in last chance qualifying and he almost didn't make it to the big event. He puts a 12:40 at his best lap, Jack Carroll, the American driver, already established as one of the best JordiCar drivers. 12:48, he doesn't improve his 12:40, but he is right now in third place in the fight for pole. He's gonna bump Checo Pole out of the fight. And yes, he doesn't improve, but he is third with a 12:40. The reigning champion. He wants to put on a show here in the Jordi 500. The Penske driver. And look who is in the danger zone. Real KDY20 about to be bumped to last chance qualifying. Dario Ruiz in the Penske. The Ultimate Racing 2D2 Sim 2 times champion. He is one of the 3 guest drivers from Momentum Y Sim. He is now gonna try to make himself a place in the greatest spectacle in Twitter sims. His first time on an oval, his first time on a JordiCar, and that's at 12:52 as his first lap, his opening lap. That would put him in 7th place, the Spaniard driver, multiple champion in another sim, in the UR2D2 sim. He puts a 12:67 at his second lap. That's an awful lap for the Penske driver. The number 12 Penske was bumped in season 9. Oshilex wasn't able to make it to the big show. That's a 12:60. But what lap will he put in his final lap? Oh, he touches the grass there in turn number 3. He's gonna be staying with his 12:52, and real KDY20 moves himself. Oh, what is he doing? Dario Ruiz almost hit the barrier on the inside. And he goes to the grass again. He likes grass, I see. But that's a good lap from the 2-time champion. Master Valdez came out of nowhere and has already a top 5 finish in Talladega so far this season. So he likes a bit of ovals. He begins his lap, the Arrow McLaren driver. Remember, Naran O'Neill was supposed to be driving this McLaren, but comments that shouldn't be made were made, and Naran O'Neill was fired from Arrow McLaren. Master Valdez at 12:62, not enough to make it safely into the show, but he still has 3 more laps to put on a decent lap. That's at 12:48. He put himself behind Bruce Williams in 7th, but he would like to have a better lap time than that one. He puts now at 12:38, 10 tenths better than his previous lap time. What is he gonna put in his final lap? It doesn't seem like he's improving, but at 12:38, what a run from the Mexican rookie. He puts himself in the fight for pole and puts Jack Carroll in the midfield. Amazing run by the Arrow McLaren driver. Oh, he touches the wall. Oh, he crashed. He has crashed. The Mexican driver has crashed, but as he finished his lap, he's gonna maintain his position there. Fifth gear then. Next driver out on the track. The Taiwanese driver had a very difficult season in Chip Ganassi Racing, like Checo Pole in that same number 8 car. He won in season 10 though with Arrow McLaren in his 3rd season with the team. He lost his Ali sponsorship last season. Big cut for 5th gear. He puts at 12:33 and bumps Valdez from the battle for pole. But remember, he has to finish his run. The Taiwanese driver. He puts again at 12:60. I think he's going to stay with 12:33. The Taiwanese driver looking for his second Jordi 500 win. Last time out, he was lapped by his teammate Owen Quatlando at Bristol. He wouldn't like to that happening again in the Jordi 500, but that lap, that 12:33, was pretty good lap. Let's see if someone can equal it. Certainly not 5th gear, but he put himself in P3 and the battle for pole. The time. Next up on the line, Joseph Marks. He is the season 10 JordiCar champion, but he has never won the Jordi 500, the Spaniard driver. Juncos has not won the Jordi 500. Not even Alejandro Garcia, his teammate, has won it. But Joseph Marks, one of the drivers with the most hunger for wins. He got 3 last season, and he was one of the 2 drivers with the most wins in a season. That's 12:67. Oh, Real KDY 20 was bumped. Unfortunately, after that 5th gear run, Real KDY 20 bumped again from the Jordi 500 for a 2nd consecutive time. Joseph Marks betters his lap into a 12:55, and now he makes it at 12:37. He's gonna put himself in 4th place, but let's see if he can dethrone 5th gear from the fight from pole. That's at 12:40. It's not gonna be enough, and Nyarl has been bumped from the Jordi 500 for a 3rd time in his career. The Indonesian driver has struggled around this circuit, and it's gonna be a huge blow to his championship chances, as he won't take part on this season's Jordi 500. Canadian Bacon, he is the current runner-up in the Jordi NXT series. He won the first race of the season. Oh, he touches the inside wall there, but he can continue in his warm-up lap. He's driving for McIntyre Engineering. Yes, it's the same team that Robbie McIntyre founded, and he got his way in the season 10 finale, remember? 12:77, that's a horrible first lap for a team with no budget. But can he bump his Journey NXT rival 66 Blomqvist? That's a 12:65. Canadian Bacon still not in the show. Can he find a time that puts him in the show? That's another scrappy lap. That's a 12:60. Still not in the Jordi 500. Canadian Bacon is under pressure now. He needs to find a lap here. He is improving. He makes the massive cut in turn 4, and that's a 12:37. 12:37, he puts himself behind Joseph Marks. How did he find that time? Everyone is clapping in the McIntyre Engineering garage. Canadian Bacon, Canada Bacon, is in the show. And the final car of group number 1, Alberto Sainz, another UR2D2 sim driver. He is a 2 times race winner in that sim. Now he's driving for the champion team Peñarol, also from that sim. That's a pretty competitive sim. And now they are trying their waters in JordiCar as Alberto Sainz puts a 12:52. Not enough to put himself ahead of Dario Ruiz. Dario Ruiz following this lap very closely. And that's a 12:43. Dario Ruiz is out of the Jordi 500. He's not gonna make it, but Alberto Sainz has to finish his run still. Alberto Sainz would put himself in 9th, bumping Miguel Marquez into last chance qualifying and Dario Ruiz out of the contention to make it to the race. And yes, that's at 12:43. Dario Ruiz will not make it to the Jordi 500 in his first attempt. Neither 66 Blomqvist and Niarl and KDY20 have been eliminated. The results then from this session: Group 1, Connor Silic on the lead, unpaid intern and 5th gear in the Prema will make it to the fight for pole. And well, in the last chance qualifying, Miguel Marquez and Kevin Bruce Williams will fight it out with the other 2 drivers from Group 2. Dario Ruiz, 66 Blomqvist, Niarl and KDY20 did not make it to the big show. And now in Group 2, another Alpine, Dan Freins, beginning his lap. Oh, and in the warm-up he goes into the grass. Dan Freins has been eliminated multiple times from the Jordi 500. Once he made it with his own team to the grid. Dan Freins has had a very shaky career in JordiCar, but has been there since season 1. He puts a reference time of 12:57. He hit the wall. He hit the wall on the exit of turn number 2, but he can continue. He hits it again in the exit of 4. That's at 12:55. He puts an even better lap. Great run by the Dutch driver, but still no pace from the Alpines at the moment, neither from Niarl or Freins. He puts at 12:53. He has one more lap to put a decent time and get himself in the 12:40s. Oh, he lifts a lot, and that's at 12:58 in his final run. He has to conform himself with a 12:53. Will it be enough to make it to the show? Or will the times get faster? I don't even know where unpaid intern and Connor Silic found that time. Momentum Moai now. Chip Ganassi racing driver. He started the season on a high, winning the first race of the season. Big cut in his warm-up lap, and now he begins his run. Momentum Moai, he was in Pertamina Alpine in season 10. He won a couple of races. In season 11, he got a podium with Apex GP, and now he has his big shot at fighting for the championship. He puts at 12:42 with Chip Ganassi Racing. Momentum Moai filling the big shoes of Sean Franchitti. He puts now a time of 12:47. 12:42 is his first lap in his first lap. Exit of turn 3, exit of turn number 4. What's it gonna be at 12:47? Still one lap to improve for the Spaniard. Momentum wide. 3 of the drivers of his team are participating in this qualifying session, but let's remember that one of them did not make it to the show, Dario Ruiz. And Momentum wide sets a time of 12:42. The driver whose first JordiCar race was the season 9 Jordi 500 with ARTGP, making a big effort to put his car into the race. Etienne Jones, the veteran from Preston, he was there in season 1. He had a couple of off seasons, but he's now back in the grid, this time in Andretti. He was eliminated last year from the Jordi 500. He was driving the Apex Grand Prix car in last chance qualifying, and he puts at 12:58 as his reference time. I think if you make it ahead of Dan Freins, I think you are in the show with the pace of the Alpines at this point. Etienne Jones hasn't done that. That's at 12:45. He puts himself ahead of Dan Freins, but he touches the grass in the first corner. I don't think it's gonna be enough to improve. Final lap then for Etienne Jones, the Preston boy, has been in different teams. His best result in the championship was a P3 in season 5. He was teammate of the eventual champion just above a moment, and he doesn't improve his 12:45. He's gonna put himself in second, the number 26 Andretti car of Etienne Jones. Is his time in JordiCar already up? He hasn't won a race in several years, I think. Now we got Alex Sargent, 8 times a race winner in the UR2D2 sim. The Argentinian driver seeking to be the first Argentinian to start a JordiCar race. Believe it or not, There hasn't been an Argentinian on the grid in the complete history of the JordiCar series. Ivan Castro in season 9 attempted to qualify, but he just didn't make it, and that's at 12:45. He will put himself at the moment behind Etienne Jones. He touches the wall there, the grass, I'm sorry. Alex Sargent with a decent run, 12:63, still 2 laps to go for the Argentinian rookie. 8 race wins in UR22 scene. Sound easy, but they definitely aren't. That's at 12:37. He's gonna put himself in the lead of group number 2 when his run ends. Oh, he touches the grass again. He's not gonna improve. But that's a very, very good lap from the Argentinian for Andretti. And that's a better time than Jones's and Kevin Bruce Williams's in the full-time season. Let's have that in mind. Palou season, championship contender, current runner-up on the JordiCar series. He won twice. He's one of the 3 drivers that have won multiple times the Jordi 500. He's going to be looking for his 3rd Jordi 500 this weekend. Palou season after winning it in season 4 and season 8. Both of them with Ganassi. He's now with Trackhouse. We saw the pace of Silic and what he can do. And that's a 12:57 in his first one for the British driver. He spent 2 years in retirement. He returned in season 11, leading this Trackhouse racing project. And now he puts at 12:40. A very, very big improvement from his first lap, still 2 to go. It doesn't seem like he's improving on his 3rd lap as he begins his final lap of his run. Palou season. He debuted in season 3, and by season 4, he was already a championship contender. He lost the championship in the line in season 3 and in season 5. Remember that finale against Just a Bro moment in season 5 at Motegi, one of the most historic moments of the JordiCar series. And look who's there, Just a Bro moment. The Ferrari driver having a difficult start for the season. In fact, the Ferrari team is last in the Constructors' Championship. So Just a Bro moment. He has 4 pole positions at the Jordi 500. He would love to have a 5th one, but we don't know how the pace of the Ferrari is. After all these difficult days, this difficult year, he put at 12:52 to start. He's now in his lap number 2. It looks like he's improving slightly. It's gonna be a slight improvement. No, he loses by a 10th, 12:53. He's barely ahead of Dan Bryant in the standings at the moment. Oh, he touches the grass. What is going on with Just a Bro moment? Big cut. He puts at 12:35, and he's now the leader of the group. It seems like a horrible lap, but it was a blessing in disguise. Touching the grass there. Just a Bro moment, leader of group number 2, and his Ferrari. He's currently in the fight for pole position. Let's see if he will be able to join unpaid intern Connor Silic and 5th gear in that fight. Robbie McIntyre is up next, the defending Jordi 500 race winner. Remember, he took the place from Cesar Cohen in the final lap of the race. Robbie McIntyre. He got his car into the race with Canada Bacon. Oh, what is he doing? He's deep in the grass in turn 3 in his first run. That's going to be a 15:42. Of course, he has to put a way better lap than that one, and I think that's going to be achievable, easily achievable. Robbie McIntyre, he made it to the Jordi 500 in season 5 with Prema. It was his first start in the series. He entered full-time with McLaren in season 6, with Williams in season 6. That's a 12:45 for Robbie McIntyre. He was adopted by Alex Loldamex, 2-time Jordi 500 winner and JordiCar champion. And he eventually won the season 11 Jordi 500, his biggest achievement of his career for Robbie McIntyre. But that's at 12:45, not enough. Not enough to have a safe spot. Still 2 cars left to go before, oh, he touches the wall there, the pit wall. Look at this, Sean Franchitti, fellow Scottish driver. He made the move to Mercedes, looking for new opportunities. He scored a podium last race in Bristol, but now he wants to get his first Jordi 500 pole, his second actually. Sean Franchitti won in 6 on 6 with Andretti in his second season. In fact, Sean Franchitti, alongside Joseph Marks, as he sets at 12:57, is the only driver to win a race in their JordiCar debut. Joseph Marks won Saint Pete in season 2, and Sean Franchitti wins in Puebla in season 5 with Andretti, as he sets at 12:47. The Scottish driver. That would put him not safely enough, as he puts now at 12:38. He's gonna be putting himself in the fight for pole position, as he puts Palou season into 4th place. And now I don't think he's gonna improve his lap. He definitely lifted with a 12:75 as his final run. But Sean Franchitti is in the fight for pole position right at this moment. But we still have many more drivers to come. As now we see King Demon. He made it in last place to last year's Jordi 500, the Penske driver. He had a difficult start for the season last year, and he eventually got 2 race wins. This year he has a difficult start to his season. I think he's still yet to score a top 10. As he begins his lap, he would like to put himself safely into the big show for Team Penske. A first lap of 12:45, just enough to put himself in 8th at the moment behind Bobby McIntyre. But it looks like he's improving. Big cut in turn number 4. That's going to be a 12:42. He puts himself ahead of Jones, but behind Momentum OI. King Demon struggling out there to put a decent lap and make it to the show. Another cut there. That's a 12:43. Not improvement. I think he's going to have to stick with 6th place. He's slightly improving, but the cut is gonna... He doesn't cut there. 12:37. He puts himself in the fight for pole. It doesn't seem like he was improving his lap, but the Indian driver puts himself into the show. He's safely in, even if the rest of the drivers make it. Will Cathedral, the Jordi 100 winner in the Jordi NXT Championship. He's the current championship leader ahead of Canada Bacon. So he would very much like to make it to the big show. Will Cathedral in that Arrow McLaren. This is the first time he is driving a JordiCar. In fact, of the 4 Jordi NXT drivers right now attempting to make it to the grid, only Canada Bacon had previous experience with a JordiCar. That was evident with the elimination of 66 Blomqvist, and look, he's having a very scrappy lap. Will Cathedral, that's at 12:57 behind Dan Frines. He hits the wall a lot of times. Will Cathedral is struggling out there with the Arrow McLaren. 12:57, still not enough to beat Frines, but he is in his final lap. It seems like he's slightly improving. Yes, he is. Is he gonna put up a better lap? No, that's a 12:62, and he puts himself directly in last chance qualifying. It's gonna be difficult to stay there with some of the names coming up. Will Cathedral. In fact, there's no shame in not making it to your first Jordi 500. Still a bunch of Jordi NXT races to go. He can win the championship, he can get a full-time ride for next season, but he has to keep improving. Now Cesar Cohen, Dominican Republican driver, he finished 2nd last season in the Jordi 500, his best result in years. But now he's struggling there, touching the wall a couple of times. He puts at 12:52. That's enough for P9 at the moment. He gets turn number 3, turn number 4. He's not improving. That's a 12:50. Yeah, that's barely an improvement for Cesar Cohen. As he starts his 3rd lap, he touches the grass on the inside. He attempts a massive cut, but that's a 12:62, not enough to better it and get himself safely into the race. final lap of his run. I think he's improving. Big cut, and oh no! He touches the wall. He doesn't finish his run. In order for his lap time to count, he needs his run. And now he's out. Owen Quatlando is next. It does seem like Cohen's lap has been counted, but with a 1 place penalty, because he's put behind Dan Fries. And now Owen Quatlando, the driver who made his JordiCar debut last season, in this exact same race, he made it to the show. Although he finished last, he would like to better that, as he puts a lap of 12:50, enough to bump Dan Fries to last chance qualifying, and Will Cathedral would not make it to the Jordi 500 in his first attempt. But Owen Quatlando, setting and again another lap. Talk about the consistency of this driver. He won last race, he wants to repeat that in the biggest stage of them all. That's a 12:33. Amazing lap from Owen Quatlando. He puts himself right in the fight for pole, and that puts Alex Sargent in third and King Demon out of the fight for pole. And as I was saying, Will Cathedral will not make it to the Jordi 500 in his first attempt. Cezanne Cohen is in danger, as we now have Alejandro Garcia up next. The greatest Spanish JordiCar driver of all time, but he still needs that Jordi 500 race win. Joseph Marks, his teammate, did not make it to the fight for pole. He would like to do so in his Juncos Hollinger racing car. Alejandro Garcia clips the grass there in the inside of turn number 2. It's gonna be a very slow first lap. That's a 12:65, not enough to make it to the show. The Spaniard driver, the only driver to finish in the top 10 in every single race last season, including the Jordi 500, where he finished 12th. That's a 12:40, way better lap, but only enough for 6th place. He would like to put a better time to secure a better starting position. That's a 12:38, puts himself still in 6th. But yeah, he would like a better qualifying lap to put himself higher in the grid. It's not gonna happen. 12:48. Cesar Cohen has been bumped from the Jordi 500. So we lost the second place finisher of last season, and look who is in the last chance qualifying, Robbie McIntyre. Will he be bumped? Oh my god, look who is coming up, David Malukas. IndyCar driver, linked with Penske, but he's now focused on his Jordi 500 run. Robbie McIntyre, the race winner last season, is in last chance qualifying. This would be unbelievable scenes if he doesn't make it. Remember, Alex Lodamex almost doesn't make it, and that puts his first lap for David Malukas is at 12:37. He put himself in 5th place at the moment, David Malukas, and that puts Robbie McIntyre in danger with 1 car to go. Dan Fries will not make it to the Jordi 500. Both Alpines have been bumped. But look at David Malukas. Will he put a better lap? That's a 12:68. He needs a good lap if he wants to fight for pole position. He's currently in 6th place in the mid-pack. Big cut into turn 12-4, and that's a 12:33. David Malukas has made it to the fight for pole alongside Owen Quatlando in just a brown moment. Alex Sargent would be devastated to not be fighting for the pole in his first attempt. But Robbie McIntyre is in danger. He's probably watching this very closely. Pato Alonso, best result of P10 in Jordi NXT, struggling with the machine, but Peñarol trusted him. Peñarol has also put him in his car in the UR22 scene during some free practice sessions. Pato Alonso, the young Mexican rookie, he wants to make it in his first attempt. That's at 12:63, and he clips the grass of turn number 1. It's gonna be another slow lap for the Peñarol driver. He hits the wall in turn number 3. He has to battery up and pick it up in lap number 4, in lap number 3, I'm sorry. 12:78 is his first lap. He needs to put a way better lap. And that's at 12:45. It's not gonna be enough to make it to the show because McIntyre set his lap first. He is barely improving. He touches the wall and the exit of turn 3. He does it and the exit of turn 4. He's not gonna improve. Pato Alonso does not make it to the Jordi 500 in his first attempt. That was a very scrappy run for the Mexican rookie. He must be devastated. He wanted this so bad. And Robbie McIntyre is brutal. Drivers of the cycle pole are always at both winners. Nathan Jones, Robbie McIntyre goes and that's the rest of the drivers. Places 7 to 8 decided marks. For Scuderia Ferrari, looking to set his 4th pole, or his 5th pole, better said, in the Jordi 500. Conor Silic begins his lap. A warm-up lap of 17:55. I don't know if he's gonna hit the time he found in the group stages. Conor Silic. He's gonna set at 12:35. A reference time, still slower than some drivers in the group phase. The track is getting better though. Big cut in turn 4. All the drivers started to like cutting that corner. That's a 12:30. That's a very good lap from Conor Silic. Oh, he goes a bit wide there. That's a 12:53. And that's his run finished. In the last chance quali and in the fast 6, it's no longer 4 laps, it's 3 laps. That's why Conor Silic is diving into the pits now with a reference time of 12:30 and his good buddy unpaid intern in the target Chip Ganassi Racing liveried car, our commentator of trust. He's gonna start his lap. He set a good lap in the group phase, but he would like to have a way better lap this time around. No Jamaican driver has finished on pole in the Jordi 500. Well, we only have 2, and that's a good lap, an amazing lap. That's 12:25 for the Jamaican driver. He cuts the grass in turn number 3, but he still has one more attempt to put more tenths on Conor Silic. Unpaid intern. What a driver he is. If he doesn't go full time to JordiCar, it's because he doesn't want to. And that's unpaid intern, putting himself on the top of the charts. Will anyone be able to dethrone the Jamaican from the top spot and put a better lap than 12:25? 5th gear then, in the Prima car. He wants to start from pole, his charge towards his 2nd Jordi 500 victory. The Taiwanese driver, starting a new age in Prima. At least he would like to out-qualify his teammate Owen Quatlando. There have been some doubts on 5th gear's ability after being lapped by his rookie teammate. But he puts a reference time of 12:33, not enough to beat Silic or intern. That was the best lap that got 5th gear into the group, into the fight for pole. He puts a 12:40 in his 2nd lap. I think he's gonna have to conform with 3rd. He's barely improving, but he's not gonna improve in his final lap. He sets at 12:37 and he's gonna stay in the 2nd row of the grid. But now it's up to Owen Quatlando to out-qualify his teammate and put himself in the front row of the grid, or at least ahead of 5th gear. He's the next one out on track, Owen Quatlando. Prima Racing driver, recent race winner. He qualified in 18th in his first Jordi 500 attempt, in 17th, I'm sorry. So this is already a way better starting spot than that one. Owen Quatlando making his way through turn number 3. Big cut into turn number 4. He almost hits the wall, and that's a 1240. Still not enough to beat 5th gear. The American rookie in his second Jordi 500 start is going to start in the top 6. But in which place of the top 6? He puts at 1237. But still 1 lap to go for the young American driver from Washington, D.C., Owen Quatlando. Another big cut. And that's a 12:42. It's not going to be enough. He puts himself behind his teammate, 5th gear. It was a nice run from the rookie driver. Next up, who is it? David Malukas. He would love to start from pole position. His 4th start in the Jordi 500. The IndyCar driver, of course, used to driving around the Brickyard. He begins his lap, a warm-up lap of 1898. He goes wide out of turn number 2. On the inside, small cut, and that's at 1240. He's gonna put himself in 5th at the moment. He still has 2 laps to find a better time. He is improving vastly in this second run, and it's gonna be at 1227. Fantastic lap from David Malukas to put himself in the front row of the grid. But can he take the pole from unpaid intern? He clips the grass. I don't think it's gonna be enough. He puts at 1280 as his final lap, but his second lap was enough to put him in the front row of the field. But the driver with the most poles in Jordi 500 history is up next. Just a bro moment. Hungry to put that Ferrari in the front row of the grid, with another Ferrari fighting to get to the last row of the grid. He puts a warm-up lap of 1860, but he's gonna have a way quicker lap at this point as he begins his quali run. He clips the small piece of grass in turn number 3, and that's a 1228 in his first run. That puts him in 3rd place of the grid. Can he steal the pole? It doesn't seem like he's improving. He had to leap there, and he puts at 1235 in his second run, but it's still 1 lap to go for the Colombian legend. Clips the grass in turn number 3, still improving a little bit. Will he improve? 1237. He puts himself in 3rd, a good starting position for the Colombian driver for Scuderia Ferrari, and he's gonna start in P3. So let's see how the top 6 will start this race. Unpaid intern, his first JordiCar pole, followed by David Malukas in row number 1. Row number 2 is for Just a Bro Moment alongside Connor Silich, and row number 3 will be both Premas of 5th gear and Owen Quatlando. Now it's time for the most intense part of the weekend. Miguel Marquez, Etienne Jones, Robbie McIntyre, and Kevin Bruce Williams. Miguel Marquez is the first car out on track. He has never been in this position of being in last chance qualifying, so he wants to get done with this as quickly as possible. He begins his lap time. He's doing a very fast run. Of course, the track is as it has better been. So expect lap times that could have been fighting for pole, and that's at 12:35 in his first attempt. He goes towards turn number 2, 3, turn number 4 for Miguel Marquez in his second lap. That's at 12:53. He's not improving. Oh, he goes wide at the exit of turn number 2. He's not gonna improve. He's gonna stay with a 12:35, the Mexican driver. But will it be enough to put himself in the main show? He would hate to be eliminated in his 12th Jordi 500 start. Now it's time for Etienne Jones, the Preston boy. He was bumped from the Jordi 500 last season. He doesn't want to repeat now, but he has the benchmark time of 12:35 to beat. Etienne Jones in the number 26 Andretti one of the two Andretti drivers to be in the bump zone. Alex Sargent safely in the top 18. Etienne Jones closes his first lap. That's at 12:40, not enough to beat Marquez, but still 2 more laps to go for the British driver. He enters turn number 3, turn number 4. It's gonna be barely an improvement. No, it won't. It's at 12:45 for the British driver. Can he improve in this final lap? He's not improving at all. He hits the wall in the exit of 3. 12:85. He has to conform himself with P20 and at 12:40. But still, the last season champion Robbie McIntyre, with hunger of not being bumped like his boss was in season 5. Now he tries to put himself in the big show, from winning it last season to fighting to be in it in season 12. As he begins his run, ladies and gentlemen, we have to keep an eye on the Scottish driver, Robbie McIntyre. Etienne Jones is watching the TV at this moment, not wanting to be eliminated, and he's gonna be eliminated. No, Robbie McIntyre puts at 12:45. He needs to find a lap to put himself in the big show. Etienne Jones with a big sigh of relief as he puts an end to his second lap. It's at 12:38. Etienne Jones will not make it to the Jordi 500. Robbie McIntyre is still pushing in his final lap. He goes wide, and it's gonna be at 12:55, enough to put himself behind Miguel Marquez with a 12:38. Etienne Jones will not make it to the Jordi 500 for the second consecutive time. And Robbie McIntyre is now gonna be watching closely the run from Kevin Bruce Williams. Will we see history repeat itself? A rookie eliminating a Jordi 500 winner driving the number 55 Ferrari. We won't know just yet as Kevin Bruce Williams begins his lap. He wants to put at least himself, of the full-time Andretti drivers, into the show. That's at 12:50. That's 10 tenths behind Etienne Jones. Is not gonna be enough to even put himself in 21st. Kevin Bruce Williams, he needs to find a lap in this final run to put himself in the big show. This is for the pride, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Bruce Williams, what time he puts his at 12:30. Kevin Bruce Williams is in the show, and the reigning champion will not be able to defend his crown. Robbie McIntyre has not made it to the Jordi 500. Unbelievable scenes in the pit lane. Kevin Bruce Williams will be driving his first Jordi 500, and Robbie McIntyre will not be able to defend his crown from last season. These are the results. Miguel Marquez and Kevin Bruce Williams will begin the race in the final row of the grid. Robbie McIntyre surely is crying. Alex Loldham, ex-Ferrari team principal, also is disappointed as we now see the starting grid. Intern, Malukas, Brumman, Silic, Gear, Quatlando, Marks, Bacon, Sargent, Demon, Valdez, Franchitti, Garcia, Carroll, Season, Paul, Moai, Sainz, Kevin Bruce Williams, and Miguel Marquez closing the starting grid. This is gonna be an exciting show tomorrow, so make sure to tune in to the main race of the Jordi 500, the season 12 edition of this race. I was JordiCar Series, and see you next time.